Now, there's a gentleman who was involved in creating ChatGPT. I've forgotten the name, but I have his video here. We may not get the time to play that. Now, what he says, because these are people who are so creative until they almost, look like crazy, the things they talk about. So they say they created this thing, but what he says, the most dangerous thing, which he says he fears, and in fact he calls this new technology, the AI, he calls it the monster. He says we are actually creating a monster, which we will not be able to manage. So they ask it a question. So they structure it. They say, okay, this is Mombasa rolling mills. This is what it does, blah, blah, blah. And then they come to ask it. So tell us about Mombasa rolling mills. That thing tells more things about Mombasa rolling mills that they didn't know. So they keep on wondering who else behind the scenes will become a monster. If you want to know, technology is now becoming a monster. When the Iran war started, the bombing of the school, okay? Do you know the person who gave instructions for that bombing to be done, for that school? It was not a human being, it was AI. For your information. So, and by the way, those AIs are being developed here in Kenya, by Kenyans here, in Nairobi, and I know those guys. So, what they do is they seat people like the way you are seated here, so to develop things about a war scenario. How does it look like? So what are the likely targets if you're going to war with a country like Iran? So you look for maybe factories for missiles, what? So you feed all that information into that. And then you create pictures and relates to those things which have been fed into AI. It sends information. We have identified a missile factory, release a bomb, and it releases a bomb, okay? Mergers, acquisitions, and change in strategy. So when all these things happen, sometimes they affect people, and most of the time actually they affect people, so people decide, it's enough. So whether you're a CEO or whatever, pressures become too much and you say, no, let me take another phase of life. Now, this is a very, very important point here. I don't know if you are realizing that we are having a huge generation change now. In the year 2020, there was a remaining 40% of the baby boomers generation. That is when they retired. Next year, this year and next year, in the next 3 years, we will have the last batch of Gen Xs retiring also. So the only people who are going to remain at the workplace are millennials, the Gen Zs. So even if you say you don't want to retire because you have 2-3 more years to work, those are the guys you're going to deal with. Okay? So in terms of even their discipline, yeah? I mean, they have no discipline. You leave them, the machine to to operate. You come, you find they have done their own things. Yeah. So we also need to be aware about this, and this should speak to us, to tell us, to inform us. Is it really time? When we see these signs, we should know it's time. We now need to move on. It will be integrated into the organization. It will be developed and trained. But then the time for transition will come. So initially, the internal transitions will be when you're being promoted, transferred. But then the time for retiring will also come. Okay? And retiring actually is when you're ending on a good note, through death. Okay? So we should be fortunate enough that we are living when we are very sober, very conscious, very able, and with a plan, with a package at the same time. All right? Now, once you hit 55, you have now entered the late career stage. Now you start getting into a downhill, okay? Which means you need to start planning for your retirement. Unfortunately, most of us at this stage, between 55, even at this stage of 55, we still haven't started thinking about our retirement and our retirement planning, okay? So, and that's where now we get problems, because once you get at 60 without a plan, then you start getting worried, and you get confused, you become insecure, and you end up having a lot of problems. So this is our natural career growth in our lives. Okay, so whatever we do, we must to end up doing the same thing. But at least it will help you get another idea, like what that lady was saying. So you can either end up doing something within the line of what you're doing, or you can, like she says, you can actually become a teacher, consultant, a trainer, okay? You start looking at your area of creativity. What is the creativity that was being blocked because you're working full-time, okay? Do you have leadership abilities and capabilities? Now, people like Akash, this is where they come in. You ask yourself, do you think you have some level of leadership? And where can you take, who can benefit from it? Be able to know. Sometimes it doesn't cost you much if you talk to someone who knows you very well. And through that, they can actually be able to tell you, by the way, did you know that you have this talent? And initially, you'll actually probably even say no, until now you start thinking seriously about it. And there's so many stories with the stages of retirement, okay? So it is a journey that you're walking through. And every journey has its own challenges. So you will need to adjust your life in so many ways for you to be able to cope with these stages of retirement. And these are the stages. So the first stage where you guys are right now is this one, pre-retirement stage. You're just holding it in your hands now. Okay? So we can see Herman here, we can see Akash here. We can see Gala here. We can see Taifa here. Okay? Sote tuko hapo sasa. From here, we are going to go into what we call the honeymoon stage. Don't worry, I will explain this in Kiako. Umefika nyumbani. You're celebrating. Finally, freedom has come. Yeah? You're free now. So you have the money, you have the freedom, you know, you're happy. You don't have to think about reporting at work at 8, recording your name there, or doing the biometric to be seen that you have arrived, staying until 5. Now you just are free, you know, so you'll feel happy. So that's called the honeymoon stage. And then stage 3 is the disenchantment stage. So here, some of you will begin to realize that the expectations you laid for yourself and the expectations that you had are not really aligning with what is happening on the ground. So reality is beginning to now show you the fundamentals of retirement, the real scenarios of retirement. So there are things that will not go exactly according to your expectations, but there are other things that will also go according to your expectations. With a lot of expectations you set for yourself and plans, but then you realize some plans are unrealistic, some things cannot be achieved, so you reorientate yourself, and then now you gain your bearing properly now. Once you achieve this stability stage, nothing worries you about retirement. You know where you get your money, you know where you'll get your food, you know how to handle your health issues, you know how to handle your domestic home issues. So no one can come and start telling you stories. Oh, you know, let's do this. let's travel to Tanzania. Na unawaambia hapana, I'm okay where I am. I think I've set myself okay, all right? Because you have the right knowledge. Okay, you have the right knowledge, you are empowered, you know what to do. And this is where now this workshop becomes extremely important for you, because this is not something you would have gotten just ordinarily, you know, from anywhere else. You would have just picked your check, you go, and then you start going through that phase. Yeah. So is there any question or comment up to this point? Many good things, huh? Madam Ken, unajisikiaje tangu asubuhi? You learned a lot, eh? Na hata tujaanza kuingilia hiyo retirement stages. Hapo sasa ndio tunaanza sasa mambo. Ile ilikuwa tu ni kuset the pace. Yeah. So by the time tunamaliza kesho I want us to tumalize mpaka financial literacy before the insurance people and the investors come. So when they come and talk, they will not be talking Greek to you. Okay, so when they start telling you about annuities, I will have told you about annuities, the advantages, the disadvantages. When the other guys come to talk to you about money markets, investments and whatever, you will have a rough idea. So mimi nitajifanya sijaongea na nyinyi, wacha kila mtu akuje aongee na mambo yake. And then at the end of the day, by the time we finish this workshop, you'll be very informed. In fact, I believe you will know exactly where you want to go first. Immediately you get your money. Yeah, and that's what we want.
Madam vile ametuongezea maji, tumeshukuru sana kwa hilo. Then of all the things, the presenter of this training, niite training, kuanzia from A to Z, you started quite well. Na the material ina sync, ina flow vizuri sana. Hope kila mtu amepata hiyo. Na hakuna mtu ambaye ameface any challenge. Kama ni swali tunauliza swali, na things zimesync kwa roho, kwa akili na kwa mioyo. How about the last day? Team, nadhani kutakuwa tume achieve a lot. So we are very happy and we are very grateful for your presentation. Hoping at the end of this session, that is on Thursday, Mkala nitaondoka nikiwa nimejipanga vilivyo. Cause hata nimeanza kujipanga sasa hivi nikiwa nimeketi. Thanks a lot.
Tunataka kwa masikio wengi sana. So that ile uncertainty ya future kwa iko unknown, at least sasa tumeanza kuona mwangaza. Tumejua kuwa it is within us. It's upon us to decide vile destiny yetu itashape. So ametutia moyo. Aliyakuwa kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. Matumaini makubwa sana.
Mimi nasema nashukuru kwanza kwa nafasi hii ambayo management imechukua kutuleta mahali kama hapa kuwa na mafunzo kwa ajili ya vile ambavyo utastaafu, na sikustaafu kwamba tumefukuzwa, lakini kwa sababu sisi wenyewe pia tumependelea na tumeona umuhimu wake. Na katika mafunzo haya sahihi tunaona ule umuhimu ambao uko kwa kuchukua nafasi hii mapema, na naona kwamba tukitoka hapa pia tutakuwa na ile knowledge, enough knowledge, na ile fear, ile tashishwi, whatever you call it, itakuwa hakuna katika mioyo yetu. Na tukienda kule nyumbani tutakaa vizuri na tutaendelea kama maisha itakuwa ni kama kawaida. Si kawaida, lakini itakuwa ni kama kawaida, kwa sababu tunaambiwa wakati una retire siku ati ni mwisho, you start a new life. And I hope God will be with us na the life will be okay. Na kupitia kwa mafunzo ndugu Swaleh vile anavyotupeleka pia nimeshukuru, na nafikiri kila mmoja wetu ameona umuhimu wake. Hata kama ulikuwa na dukuduku mahali, sasa hivi moyo unaanza kufunguka. Nasema kwamba wewe si wewe peke yako, lakini wengi wamepitia na wamefaulu. Kwa hivyo ni kuomba tu tuwe wavumilivu na tuendelee mpaka ile siku ya mwisho, na naona tutasoma mambo mengi sana. Mbarikiwe.
Kushukuru kwanza. Kwa majina naitwa Kevin Ngaira Makwaka, kwa wale wananijua, na yangu ni kurudisha shukrani kubwa sana kwa kampuni na pia kwa mwalimu wetu vile ametufundisha. In fact, vile tulifika hapa sio vile tunaenda kutoka hapa leo. Tumejifunza mambo mengi sana, na pia kuna mambo mengi tulikuwa tumefungana kwa vifua vyetu, lakini naona imeanza kufunguka polepole. In fact, mwalimu umetufundisha, na pia sasa ndio tunaanza life, na lazima tu accept kuwa maisha itaendelea, na pia katika maisha yetu na pamoja na watoto wetu tutafaulu. Na mama pia, wewe na pia unishike mkono na mimi pia nikushike mkono, ndio hii maisha isonge mbele, ndio hii familia pia tuweze kufaulu. Na pia tukubali tu kuwa maisha lazima isonge mbele, na lazima tuachieve pamoja na hii familia yetu. So tuchukulie kama kawaida vile tulikuwa ikiwa kazini, na tuone kama hii maisha itasonga mbele. Kwa hivyo mimi nitawashukuru sana hata wafanyakazi wenzangu kule kujitolea na kuja kukaa hapa kusikiza haya mafunzo. Isiwe tu ni hapa peke yake, pia hii mafunzo tuyapeleke mpaka hata huko nyumbani. Tufunze hata familia zetu, tufunze hata mabibi zetu, tufunze hata watoto zetu, tuwakalishe, tuwafundishe, tuwaambie kuwa iko hivi na hivi, na lazima tu maisha iendelee. Mimi sina mengi ya kuambia, tu ni haya machache, na Mungu awabariki. Thank you.
Najilipa kale. Ukiwa afya pesa afya umetenga, wewe na familia yako. Hiyo kinini matibabu unapata. Ile kama ni chakula iwe ni ile katika biashara kana kusustain kale. Ukitaka kupanua maisha zaidi ili watakumega kule, then utakule utazimaliza kule. Sini zako. Zini zako hakuna atakayekuzuia kwenda kutoa. Utatoa na utamaliza. Ndio kwambia ile assume kuwa haiko ile kabisa. Wewe ishi katika minza kale kaduka kako kale.
Boost na maisha inaendelea.
Jilipa kila mwezi ili angalau maisha yaendelee. Unafikiri ni kiwango gani ambacho utakuwa unajilipa? 100,000, 150,000, 50,000 net na
Zitenga roho. Yangu ni chakula. Naweza kula 30,000 mimi na bibi yangu na watoto wangu wawili. And that is wastage. Sikia. Nitajaribu ku adjust ni within range ile. Kale kaduka kani sustain. So I want to see it grow. Unaona? Yes, so that is where niko hapa, lakini jicho liko kule kwa money market, naangalia kule kwa vipi ninatoa ni. Unaona? Hii nataka ijisimamie yenyewe. Simamie yenyewe, I need to adjust.
To survive. But if maybe you turn into a farmer and you start producing your own food, you grow your own vegetables, then you can lower down the budget. So I think it depends on the locality.
Fees na medical everything, zile vitu ambazo ziko touching, na tumepewa hiyo 10 million, tunazisote zote like say yearly, ni fees nailipa ya the whole year. So hapo nina uhakika kwamba ile money nimewekeza kwa money market itaanza kunizalia, nitaipatia span of that 1 year. So hapa chini niko na ile SMEs, kumbuka nitakuwa chochote kidogo napata, hata niwe niko rural ama niko town. I will not need kwamba pesa mingi as such. Nimesote zile bills kubwa kubwa zote. Yeah.
Yani hata kama una pesa umepanga umetoa pesa ya kulipa fees baada mwezi moja, miezi miwili, unaweza kuweka kwa hiyo money market kwa mwezi moja na miezi miwili, alafu tena ukaitoa, itakuwa imepata nini kidogo. So hiyo ni moja, lakini I think kitu cha kimsingi, the principal issue here is when you retire, try and readjust your life. Okay? And there will be a very big opportunity for that. Kuna kitu kimoja huwa sisi hatujui. Kwa sababu ya vile tumecondition maisha yetu, we never consider the cost that we put in to go to work. Transport, nini, kuo, pengine chakula, pengine nini. So hizo cost zote zitaanguka sasa. You'll be saving. You are not waking up every morning because you have the money. You can even live better than how you are living, even if it's going to be for some time, because you have a huge package. But what we normally recommend, you should have between 60 to 70% of what you used to earn. Okay? I'm not looking at anything else. The investments, the what, ziendelee tu. But then, to make myself feel good, when I take the 100,000, I take 30,000 and save it aside, so that I know it's my money. I can take 100,000, but I'm also saving 30,000. So 30,000 times 7, hiyo inakuwa ngapi? 210 after 7 months. So it's still your money. So, and then now after that ndo unarudi sasa unaangalia money markets imepata ngapi, able to budget with at least 10M here. So if you get 15M, gives you more leverage. You get 20M, you're even much better. You can now be able to do much more things. Yeah, so that starting point is very important in terms of how you need to plan for your retirement. Okay, so I wanted this to be our beginning. We have basic understanding about money markets. Now I'm going to give you another exercise where I will drop in returns for every product that is there, and then you'll make again your decisions where you want to put in your money markets, or this or that or that. Nione vile akili yenu inaanza kuingia katika game yenyewe, sawa?
Toa ukitaka. Kwa hivyo biashara money market iko sawa, mimi naunga mkono.
You know where they are, you it's credible. Okay? Number one, and then number two, pia angalia iwe ni katika kampuni ambayo iko sawa, alafu pia inakupatia returns nzuri, kwa sababu kuna makampuni
they started transactions then eventually when these people disappear, ofisi yao iko wapi? Nilikwenda hawa kwa simu.
No, what we'll do, I think after the presentations, because we'll have, I think, presentations from Ken India for the insurance, I will give a slide or two for APA insurance and Prudential, and then Avocap Investments will be here at the offices and do the formalization there in their offices. So if it's Prudential, you go to their Prudential offices. If it's APA, you go to their office. And all these of billions, their AUM, asset under management portfolio that they're managing is over 10 billion and above, all these companies. So again, that's the other aspect that you also need to look at. What are they managing? Okay? They just, where they are, their headquarters, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So hiyo tutafanya. So there's no room for pulling the wrong lever. There's no room. You have to pull the right lever for you to take off properly. Otherwise, you can't move. Yeah. Manage our monies. And even when you're doing online things, keep your passwords safe, watu wakikutumia kuna wale watu wa committee wale, those guys are just crazy. I don't know how they know. Ukiweka tu pesa kidogo washajua. Sama unaanza kupigwa sisi tunapiga kutoka Safaricom. Tafadhalini sana, Safaricom haiwezi. Takaigawanye mara 3. Kwanza ni fikiria kuhusu medical insurance, okay? Na hii medical insurance ina mambo ya outpatient na inpatient. The advantage of us bringing you the insurance people here is so that you can be given a good deal for people of your age group. Because normally if you walk out there alone, they make the cover very expensive. But the fact that we are bringing them here to talk to you guys, we will demand that they give you group discounts, okay? So yes, you'll be taking your own personal insurance cover and wherever you want. So there'll be Kenindia, there'll be APA, there'll be Prudential, but we will ensure that they give you guys the best rates, okay? So first will be the medical cover. 2, on medical, will be the group life for those who wish to take group life cover. Didn't have the medical, your medical card at that particular time, but you have to be treated immediately. Or it is your kid, or it's your daughter, or it's your wife, something has just happened. So you need to have, and so I like there's a group that talked about an emergency fund. I think it was Sapphire. You had that, huh? It is very important to have an emergency kitty somewhere. Not a lot of money, but money that you can be able to tap into immediately if there is any kind of emergency, okay? The group life is more about now things like tragic accidents, okay? It's more about when you get into some chronic illnesses, so it kicks in now to try and help you, okay? And to manage for you a lot of issues that you would not have otherwise handled well if you didn't have it, okay? And this is just the normal medical cover, and then you also decide what aspects it has to cover. So for someone like you, there are certain things that you may not necessarily need to have in that. So all you do is maybe you wait for 1 month, you go and withdraw 50K. So one thing that you need to know is that if you keep that 10 million without putting it to any kind of, say, investment or business, inflation will catch up with it. So if the inflation rate in Kenya is, what is the rate right now? 16. 18. So let's bring it down so that people can understand what I'm talking about. So assume MRM imekupatia 100,000 kama VAS. Umeenda umeweka chini ya kitanda hiyo 100,000. Na umejiambia sasa kushika hii 100,000 for the next 3 years. Inflation rate size ni 18%. What is 18% of 100,000? Umeweka miaka mitatu utaki kuigusa. Ukienda kuchukua after 3 years, you have lost the value of that 100,000 by 54,000. That's what inflation means. Okay? So, and if you continue doing the same thing, it will continue losing value because of inflation. And then if you look around now with the wars in the Middle East, you can be rest assured inflation will really shoot at some point. Maybe itafika 20 something. So the value of the money that you're keeping without doing anything else, you actually lose that value. So the money, the 100,000 that you have today in your hand will not be the same value in 3 years' time. That's basically what I'm saying. Yes, it's investments. Okay? Ni gani unaweza withdraw? Is there any that you can withdraw after 1 week? Ama it has to be a month. Ama zingine they have to be 3 months. Zingine they have to be 6 months. So make sure you are very clear on those things so that you know exactly what you're getting into. Yeah. So 15 years from now, this is the kind of picture I want to come and get when I come to visit some places. So think about that smile and happiness. It has so much benefits to you. Don't allow it to go away. Don't allow it to go away. Don't allow other people to make it go away. In fact, uzuri ya huyu jamaa atakuja kesho, ataonyesha mpaka hiyo app yao. Hata mimi niko nayo kwa simu yangu. So
to stress us. We can try to avoid and be happy. But that practically on the ground, that is not the scenario. Somebody somewhere will make sure that you are stressed to the last point. Now, once you get yourself in that stress, how do you now mitigate and come out of it?
Your expenses, determining what we have talked about, your needs and wants. In fact, when you're doing your planning, I encourage you to sit down, put all your costs and expenses, budget items, and then ask yourself again, how can I classify all these items into two groups, the needs and the wants? Okay? So you have your needs, and then you have your wants. And then question number 3, rank all your needs and your wants. Rank them in terms of priority from number 1 to number 10, number 15, number 20. And then tell yourself, if you're to pick the best or the highest 5 items, which are they gonna be? And that's the area where now you need to focus a lot more. So you'll find that very critical areas like school fees, like medical, like what, will rank very high. Alafu kuna vitu vingine, they will rank below. So that is one of the things that you can be able to do quickly for yourself. And it's important that you actually do that. So in your planning, like I said, most importantly, look at your daily living expenses. So you should be able to filter the things that you have planned for in terms of your daily living expenses. Kwa sababu matumizi ya kila siku, hapa huwa mara nyingi kuna changamoto. Kwa sababu hapa pia kuna mambo ya kuzoea. Yani ile habit. You're used to doing something, so you just want to continue doing something, the same thing. So by planning, it will help you realize what is it that you need to drop from your habits, okay? And then you try and work on that. The second issue that will be important for you to look at in your planning is the medical expenses. And medical expenses, you're looking at it, I want you to look at it in 3 ways. Okay? So, for example, anyone, those people, you will see them, you will find them somewhere.
Okay, the problem is,
yes,
and the only way to win an argument is to avoid it. Kwa hivyo kuna huyu jamaa anakuja njia ambayo sio, wewe kwa mjinga muondokee. That is all.
Maybe 1 or 2 plans are not working out. You need to change. You need to improve, you need to revise. So you can do that. Feel free to do that. Okay? So this is what I already said, the issue of inflation. So if it's 3% and you're earning and you have 100 bob today, and you're keeping that, if you just keep this 100 bob for the next 20 years, you lose 67% of the value of that 100 bob. So you just remain with 34, a value of 34 shillings in 20 years. So these are some of the things that you need to have in mind. And then also look at things that will push you into taxation, unnecessary taxation. Unajaribu ku avoid those of it. So if there are things you can be able to do to pull you away from getting tax, because ideally retirees are supposed to be protected from taxation, but I think laws in this country are not very elaborate about that. So you just need to be wise about it, in order to avoid that. Michael talked about compounding interest. Compounding interest ni vile tulikuwa tumesema, compounding interest ama profit is umeweka pesa kwa money markets. So tuseme umeweka 50,000. Hizi kalamu hizi. So let's say umeweka 50,000 for 3 months. In the money markets, I'm at a bonds. So what happens is that, and then maybe you're getting an interest rate here of, say, 15% per month. Some 10% so that we can.
What I wanted to say in brief, I think in concurring with my brothers, you try to by all means, hata kama utajiingiza kwa other activities ambazo zinaweza zikakuweka busy, but uondokee ile tension. Be it like you said at first kwamba unaweza ukachukua some minutes. There is a place I feel here that you can take like 15 minutes, you go and do like play games with your colleagues, old school guys, urudi. So in such a scenario, like mama ameniletea kokoro, nafikiri itabidi tu nifanye kuondoka polepole, niende niungane na wazee wenzangu, tucheze draft, nirudi. Nikipata kuna fire again, itabidi tena niji excuse nichukue kona ingine. My take though, katika hii situation ambayo tunaenda kukutana nayo ni kwamba lazima tuwe waangalifu katika mazingira ambayo tunaenda kukaa, because mahali tulikuwa tunaishi maisha mengine tofauti, na hivi tunavyoelekea kule kuna maisha mengine ambayo lazima tuende tukubaliane nayo. So vile vikwazo ambavyo vingekufanya wewe ukasirike haraka ndio ambavyo utaanza kukutana navyo kabla haujajitayarisha ama kujipanga. So unatakiwa kuwa chini na kuangalia ile nafasi ya wewe kujiingiza, ili kwamba zile pressure ambazo ziko pale uweze ku avoid. Nataka niwapatie mfano wangu mimi. Mimi nilikuwa na business nafanya, alafu mke wangu akaja kademand kwamba hiyo business wacha tuifunge. Nimewekeza 750,000 kwa hiyo business, lakini baadaye akaja kaniambia tu ghafla kwamba hii business wacha tuifunge. Wakati huo nilikuwa nimeondoka na mtoto wangu, first born wangu. So kumejaa cases nyingi. Huyu anaongea au hii, because mtoto aliumwa 1 to 2 days na kaenda. So vitu kama hivyo vinaweza kutokea. Nikakaa na mke wangu ngamuuliza kwa nini tufunge biashara. Akaniambia okay, nikienda pale nasikia tu sound ya so kuna vitu vingine. Ilifika mahali tukafunga hiyo biashara, tukafunga mlango, tukachukua hiyo vitu nikaweka ndani ya nyumba. Sasa hatujui sasa tuviuze ndani ya nyumba ama so hiyo biashara imecollapse tayari, ile capital imeenda. Sasa nikaona hapa siwezi kuendelea na maisha vizuri, lakini ilibidi nirudi chini, nikae tena nifikirie, nitafute kwanza hii sababu imetokana wapi mpaka madam akafikia hapa, mpaka nikaja nikakuta okay, kuna wale ambao sasa ndio tunawaendea hapa. Sasa ndio nataka usikize kwa makini, wale ambao tunaenda kukaa
in Kenya on supermarkets, hypermarkets, shopping malls. Alafu so background ya hiyo study actually ilikuwa best na kile kitu uchumi ilikuwa ikifanya. Kumbuka ile time uchumi ilikuwa ina expand kila mahali, inatengeza ma branches na nini. So kulingana na mimi nilifikiria kwamba hiyo strategy yao haina mpangilio sasa. So nilitaka nifanye hiyo research. Lakini katika hiyo research, one of the things ambazo pia niligundua ni kwamba niliangalia katika manyumba zetu za Wakenya generally, ni watu gani ambao wana hold the highest influence, naona katika nyumba in decision making, whatever it is. Research yangu will confirm, na in fact ukigoogle kwa nini hiyo research yangu iko hata online kwa Nairobi University, wa mama mabibi walikuwa na the highest influence, followed by the daughters, alafu sons, alafu mzee mwenyewe. So mzee mara nyingi anawapatia kipaumbele wale wengine, anasikia tunataka kuwaridhisha. Oh, mama amesema hivi, okay. Okay, mama kusema hayuko sure, lakini mtoto wa kike amesema, wacha tumsikize. So unataka kumempower, you know. So but when it came to so mambo ambayo anazungumza Lewis is very important. So even as you get out of here, you must know that the person who is wielding power of decision making over you and in your issues, your wife. It's not your wife, it'll be your daughters. So how you manage that, I have no playbook for that. I have no dictionary or encyclopedia. I can only advise. Just know how to manage, okay? Because now, for him, before he even came to know that it is other people who are convincing her, alikuwa shaingia matatani.
6 months you'll be earning 400,000 per month.
So it's times 2 times 3.
So itakuwa hii miezi 6 ya mwisho itakuwa ni laki ngapi? 2.4 million. 2.4
million. Hizo zote 3.
Na miaka mingine hiyo miaka mingine miwili nayo sasa.
Hiyo nimepiga 400 euro kwa mwaka ni 800. So times 2.
Mwaka mmoja, mwaka wa kwanza tutatengeza 400 times 6.
400
times 6. That is 2.4 M. Sawa. Alafu ile miaka miwili mimi sitakuwa sasa ishachanganya. Ile miaka miwili sasa ni 400 kila mwezi.
Ufike mpaka mwisho tuone hiyo figure inakuja vizuri. Piga hiyo hesabu.
Tuteremke nayo hesabu.
Njoo. Piga vile tunavyoenda, piga hiyo hesabu mpaka tuone tutafikia wapi. Kwanza leo 4 million
minus 20 na breakdown.
Hebu man market, anza na man market.
4 million last year. 8 times 2. 8.
Haya. Number 3.
360.
Number 4.
Plus 720. 720. Item 4 hiyo. Kwa sababu za item 720. Item 4 ndio. Plus 5M. 5 million. 5 million. Sawa. Plus 1.5. Sawa. Plus 5M. Plus hesabu nimekuja hivyo tena. Si ndio hiyo imekuja hivyo tena. Kuna resi ya 4 million. Kuna annuity. Kuna annuity. We have discussed with our colleagues here. First priority, there's a money market fund, which is 15%. We've allocated 4 million. Second, Ngao fund at 27% per year. We've allocated 3 years, which is 360,000. Then number 4, school fees, 80K per term for 3 kids, which is 240K for 3 years. The sum is 720. Number 5, 2 years treasury bond at 25% of 5 million. Then number 6, grocery shop at 1.5 M.
Number 7, house construction rental at 5 million. Number 8, annuity at 85,000, costing 4 million. Then number 9, that is miscellaneous, which is cash flow of 420,000. The first group.
This one, like from our group, we decided to keep 5 million. So that 5 million, that is, you are leaving employment, but you're starting something that will be bringing something into your pockets, so that you keep your life going with those small items. And then this one, if you are getting your monthly payment from here, you won't need this. So this one you can even compound it. Yeah.
80,000 for the 3 kids. So per term for per term for the 3 kids, and I'm assuming you want to ensure they go to good schools. Huh?
Yeah.
So 3 kids, 80K per term. You have 3 terms in a year.
So since that one we can withdraw on a monthly basis, then this one, when it goes there, will only for the first term will take only 80,000. The rest will remain there. So as we continue, that one compounds with some interest each and every time. So by the time we go to withdraw another amount, already it has earned a lot of interest. So we will not have lost anything.
That's a very important point. Required. In fact, you can pull out all that money, pay what you required, the 80,000. The rest you can put it even in money market or any other fund, and let it grow, so that you only go and take the amount that you are required to pay when you are required to pay. Anytime you take money and put it in a bank just to stay, you are only benefiting that institution. They're using it to trade for it and make profits, and you earn very little out of it. So it's the same thing. If you pay the school upfront, they also do the same thing. You're better off putting it somewhere, and it comes back. Even if it's with 10,000, you're better off than just giving it away for free. Yeah. So I think that that is very clear. Any other question? Exactly. Yeah. So unless you also get into that system, it may become a bit difficult. And this is, again, a very important thing. So the business that you're going to start, you have to study the environment and the behaviors of the people. So kama watu wananunua vitu kwota, vitu nusu, na wanaenda kutaka kuuza vitu nzima nzima, itakuwa shida. Yeah. So at some point you'll be forced to the interest or profit. And if you want, you can actually close this account and take back your principal amount of money. Disadvantage of annuity, once you have committed that money, you can't take it away. It has to remain there. The only thing they can do is, if anything happens to you, there's a figure they will recommend for you. It will be in the policy itself. They'll say, if anything happens to you, like you die or something, they'll pay your family maybe something like 50,000 every month for the next number of years, and then inaishia hapo at some point. It dries up, okay, because the insurance has to make money. Okay, so in all this, you need to look at the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. Money market is volatile also. You need to go into, as a layman, you can make money still, but it's not very advisable. You need to get people who understand the dynamics of things there so that they can help you. So I like the issue of the medical insurance, because this will take away the headache for medical. But I did not see, no, maybe I should wait until the other group presents, to see if they have seen something that this other group did not see. Because I don't want us to drop the ball this very early stage. Yeah. So I think for now we can leave it at this. We can listen to the next group.
Now these are the farmers, let me call them farming team, presenting their savings, their budget for 2020 for 25M. First, in our plan, as you can see, we went straight ahead to invest on money markets, that is 5 million, as you can see, because of the 15%. Then we also invested on Ngao. We invested with Ngao 5 million because of the percentage again. Then we have expenditures which were necessary to be fulfilled, to be sorted, like school fees. This one we just gave a rough figure of 1M, a rough estimate figure of 1M, though it is pointed there. Then we also go funka ya maziwa ya Uhuru, ya kampuni ya Uhuru inakuja pale, Brookside inakuja daily, inazua maziwa. So you can imagine for 3 years, daily we managed to scoop 12 million. Iya tungeiachia. Then housing, ndani ya hizo miaka kulingana na valuation yake haikuwa inazaa chochote, so it was at 0. But now from here, housing, house construction, that is after 3 years. So after hii revenue yetu tumeipiga for 3 years. That's why unaona tumeattain 0, tumeachieve 0 hapa. But now from here going forward tutakuwa tunatengeneza pesa mfukoni. Then tukaenda kwa actuals. Actuals here tukitoa tunabaki na 18,490. 18,940. So
faida iko zaidi kwa sababu
yes, vile umeambiwa tumeipiga for 3 years. 3 years. So hii 3 years ndio maana tumeachieve, tumepata 0. But house ndio hiyo tumeimaliza na tumespend 5 million. Are we together from there?
yeah.
Sema nipigie makofi bwana, ama niaombe. Akachi.
I'm bringing you guys back again on this medical. Because if we just plan for it and we assume that we have medical and we move on with our lives as usual, and you don't cause a high loss, it's called your loss ratio is low, they reduce for you the premium every year. But if you keep on getting sick all the time, hii bill itaanza kupanda. So can I hear from you, what are you planning to do for yourselves?
Many reasons to thank God that we have come this far, because all those things happened, but you managed to be here. You have to pat yourself on the back. But now retirement is not end of life. In fact, retirement is just the beginning of a new life, or a new lease of life, or a new way of living. And therefore, it's just a matter of tweaking yourself to fit in that new life that you are starting, so that it doesn't sound like, as much as there is a transition, it catches you off guard and you are not able to transition well or transition peacefully. So retirement doesn't just mean stopping to work everyday basis to something else that you'll be able to do. And we will look at some of the things that you do at retirement, and I'm very sure you have been taken. So in our active years, the only thing that is changing is, the game is changing when it comes even to income. For example, for those of us, your younger self like me, we are in our, it's when we 1, 2, and 3 things. Now, what is changing is now we are in the era of preservation. So this is the time to focus more on preserving what you have already gathered, number 1. Number 2, optimizing. Asking yourself, okay, I have this asset, I have a piece of land, I have a house, I have 1, 2, and 3. The returns that I'm getting out of that, are they the best that I can get into the market? That is what we call optimization. Preservation is basically meaning whatever assets I have, I make sure that they are not leaking. I am not losing, if anything. So basically, you are looking at protecting or putting a hedge around the assets that you already have, optimizing them, and turning them to generate income for you. He is expressing his love that he wants to give me. So I'm thinking, hiyo shamba tu angeuza ajisaidie, cause mimi huko siendi. And you see now what we are saying is this. Sometimes we hold assets in emotion, or we hold them sentimentally, and yet probably the people who we want them to benefit, it's a complete different generation, or maybe there is a better way to optimize the return on that asset. So basically what we are talking about is starting a new business. Now there is nothing wrong about a business, but there is everything wrong in starting a business whose cash flow and whose business cycle you don't understand. Unajua Kenyans, the way we ask ourselves, the way, you know, when we want to transfer na soda, na unashanga anaweza aje kulipa hiyo duka. Unajua tunaonanga watu wakiuza vitu, unataka kuanza biashara kama hiyo, lakini you don't know what they are selling, what else they are selling. Sometimes unataka kuanza biashara and the thought that comes to you is butchery saizi ndio mzuri ama kunyoa, mahali tunanyolewa unaona kama huyo na mtu anatengeneza hii pesa, I think I can sink my money there. But you don't know we're starting a business, but please make sure you understand that business and understand its business cycle. Number 2, starting a business that makes you more wary than you are in your active days of working in employment. You jump from one employment routine, now you go into a stressful, a more stressful season of your life instead of relaxing and being able to enjoy life. That is the other challenge that, you know, retirees face. You start a new business whose business cycle and whose cash flow you do not understand. Number 2 is locking your money in illiquid assets. Now, there is a challenge again so that we avert that situation. Number 3 is overspending early. Of course, sometimes with the packages that are, you know, given, you find maybe if there was no plan, and I'm so happy that we have these discussions now. If there was no good plan, you find that the early years, you know, there are a lot of leakages when it comes to being able to afford or to pay my bills. So many retirees don't lose money in markets, they lose in decision. Make a bad decision, arrangement, and with that money he's able to now to live off part of it and part of it to invest. And probably that's one of the examples that we are talking about here. Convert your assets into income generating assets. If you have financial assets like money, some of us, we fix money in banks, or we have a SACCO and you have put money there and probably you don't even have a loan, and so you have idle cash. Invest that money so that it earns you interest. There is a silent that the platforms you're investing in are predictable. And of course, one of the other things is consolidation, so that now you don't have properties and things that are scattered everywhere. It's now time to consolidate, because even when it comes to wealth transfer, you need a good structure that starts with understanding clearly where all your assets are, so that you can have a good transition when that time comes. So this is just an illustration of how this gentleman had a piece of land, converted it into rentals or into income generating assets that are making money for them. And like we said, avoid being asset rich and being cash poor, to being at a place where you can generate. Now at Avocap, like I mentioned, we have funds, or we have investment funds that you can invest in. One of the funds that we have was structured to take care of, to be an income generator for something, and it's still okay. We have school fees, it's still okay. We have medical bills to take care of, and all those expenses that we have. So we asked ourselves, how do we help people who are retiring or receiving a lump sum invest in a low risk place and have regular payouts, or payouts on a regular basis? And that's how we created a fund called Avocap Ngao Fixed Income Fund. Forget about the long name. Just know this is a ngao. Ndio bills zikikuja unakupata umejikinga uko sources that you could have. And the mantra here is you don't just retire on assets, retire on income. I just want to show you how ngao works. So ngao, you have received your check of 20 million. These are examples. We will do other simulations with you. If you put in 20 million in ngao today, and you choose to be paid monthly, every month on 9th or 10th, because we pay twice, either 9th or 10th, you will be getting 189,833, and your 20 million is intact the day you want it. It's still there. What happens is that we have invested in bonds, buying and selling of bonds. We are redistributing interest, but in real estate, someone still puts the 20 million in apartment. If, for example, the challenges they will get, of course, occupancy rate, kuna watu hawalipi, sometimes haijaja rental, sio nini yote imeja. So instead of all that, put your money in ngao. Every month, this money is coming, 189, and your 20 million is still intact the day you need it. If you have it, yes, please. So, again, if you are to put 25 million, that is the amount that you get on a monthly basis, 30 million, 284. And you see, if you are to decide to do monthly in the next 6 months, you will not be able to withdraw the principal or the interest. And the reason is simply, it's giving us time to invest. But for ngao, if you invest today and you choose monthly, you get regular payouts from next month. It's immediate. And we will do other simulations here. Other than ngao, we have other funds. I chose on ngao because it speaks invest in bonds. Currently, bonds are doing less than 13% per annum. But because we are trading, as we do not hold the bonds, last year we gave a net of 20.51. So that is about 200,000 on a million invested last year in January. We have a dollar fund. Invest in an investment that is giving you higher interest. That was not my point. My point was the fact that this money interest is reinvested back into the fund makes it possible for you to be able to grow your money at a faster rate. Now, Almasi is also a very low risk investment. I don't know how many of us here have ever bought a government bond. Okay. But you know how bonds work, isn't it? You know a government bond. So Almasi, assuming, for example, you invest, I don't know, how much do you work with?
1 million.
1 million. And you want to invest for how long? 6 months. Let's say 1 year. So utaona 6 months. And you are not even injecting anything. And we are giving a net of 20%. So at the end of the year, your money will have an extra 170,000. But imagine if you are going to another year, let's call it 5 so that we track it well. The first year, you will be at 1.17, sorry. And you are not even topping up. The second year, you will be at 1.3 million, meaning your money has grown by 368. It will be 800,000. By year 5, your money will be 2.1 million. The 1 million that you put, because the interest is being plowed back into the fund. Now, if you have 3 of them, because our whole investment process is online. You go to Play Store or App Store, you download the Avocap mobile app, or you click this button here written Invest Now. You go to the website and then you click here. And then it takes you to our portal. And because you don't have an account, you say, I don't have an account, I want to sign up. And you can open an individual account, You can open a joint account if you want to open an account with your wife or boys, or how to invest. As young as they are, we have an option for a junior account. So if I say I want an individual account, then I go and fill in these details, and then I proceed to upload my KYC documents, and within 5 minutes I have an account. Alternatively, pesa kama we hauko, next of kin is only a contact that we need in case we don't find you. The person who will get money if you are not there is the person you have designated in your will. Just like banks, if you're not there, a bank cannot give your wife money simply because it's your wife. They will go through the probate and you will come umeandika kama will. So the problem with that is, how do we know that is what you wanted? Number two, how do we know whether that is your family?
What information do you collect?
We only collect next of kin. It's like bank. You see, today if you have money in a bank, or you have money, let's say bank, because bank is the most appropriate example to use, and for whatever reason you are not there, the bank cannot give your wife the money, neither can it give your children. They will wait for a probate that says this is the will of so and so, and they have said this money 40% goes here, 30%. In the absence of that, two things will happen. Recovery authority, because that is the law. But there could also be, the family can lodge a claim, which still has to go through the legal process. So when you utasema, with or without saying, you decide how the money that you have left, where it goes. And that's why ni vizuri kujipanga, so that we don't leave people fighting. As children, let me now speak on behalf of all your children, because I am one of them. The best time to give your children inheritance is during their productive days. Because I see a lot of this, because I am in this industry for some time. I see a lot of challenges with fathers who worked a lot, tears, blood, and sweat. They have now assets, but none of their children want it. Why? Because we introduce our children to our businesses and our careers too late in life, when they have already made decisions on themselves. So again, that's a conversation maybe we may need to discuss. But the most important thing is, like Swale has said, don't leave people guessing what you had, number one. Number two, don't leave people guessing, fighting for what you have labored to work for. It's important that you leave good structure, so that in your absence, that asset and that money goes to your beneficiaries, so that other people who were not part of the equation don't come to fight for it.
Kwa account, nataka kutransfer kwa account yenu. Nitapewa form nichaze. Nishachaza, nishapatia wale makarani, wataangalia hiyo form. Wakiona ni pesa mingi, 3 million, maybe 4 million, maswali inaanza hapo. Hii pesa yote inaenda wapi? Unaweza kutupatia agreement mahali unapeleka hii pesa? Una agreement yote, tutafanya namna gani?
Thank you. That's a good question. Brent crude oil for the last 5 weeks imepanda by almost 40%. And we have stocks za ExxonMobil, we have stocks za Saudi Aramco, we have stocks za all these companies. So while we pray for peace, we are also making money out of that. We have purchased stocks, the defense stocks, military equipment, manufacturing companies. What are we saying? We are moving from the era of physical wealth, of saying, I own that building, I can see I have this and this, to the era now of making money, even without a physical asset, but owning that asset in digital form. And it is an in thing. Let me tell you, and I completely understand you. Today, until recently, and I want to give Swale to say something, until recently, for people to buy bonds, they had to queue at central bank. you go to open a bank. Thankfully, there is a central bank in Mombasa. But imagine someone who comes from Machakos had to go to Nairobi or the nearest central bank. Until recently, for someone to buy shares, they had to visit a stockbroker to open an account. Now today you invest with government bonds. You do it via the Dow CSD app. Today if you want to buy shares, you don't need a stockbroker. Just download the M-Pesa app. Uende pale kwa Zidi. Zidi has been licensed as a broker. So basically what we are trying, even banks, they are trying to chase us out of banking halls by ensuring we have agents, we have mobile apps, we have internet banking, because they have realized it's cheaper for them to operate online than to operate with a physical office. So things are moving. Don't worry, we completely understand. Mimi ninakuelewa kabisa.
So, for example, when I was working with Nation Media, we reached a point where we felt our sales for the newspapers were stagnating because everyone was waiting to get an opportunity to go to the market center where the newspaper seller was selling. Sometimes, you know, the papers would arrive late and some people are in a hurry. So wakipita pale, vipi wapi gazeti, wanaambiwa bado haijafika, wanaenda. So we realized we were losing a lot of sales. So we were the first company in Kenya to go digital. So we developed the digital department at Nation Media Group. We called it the Nation Digital Department. And we said we were going to start doing digital papers online. So you don't really need to buy the physical papers. So we started that. But for a long time, with our generation, it was difficult for people to adapt that. So our watu young wenye wanakimbia ofisi asubuhi nini wanatoka wanasafiri ndo walikuwa wananunua hizo wana subscribe. Sisi we were still insisting kwenda shopping center kununua, alafu unakunja unaweka hapa. Alafu unatembea unaenda unatafuta pale ya chai, mnakaa mnafungua mnaanza kutia story. Hey, umeona headline ya leo? Raila, you know? So it's a generational issue. But it has, I think for now, where we have reached now, you find it's really meaningless to have to go to the shopping center. So now I read all my papers online. Quickly, within 10 minutes, gazeti karibu zote 6. Because ukianza kufungua page moja physically, kwanza umechukua time kwenda kununua, hiyo hakuna. So, but what we are saying is, and then the second company that adopted the digital platforms was Safaricom. That time Safaricom ndio walikuwa sasa wanaanza ku develop mambo ya M-Pesa nini, and they did not even have people to do that. They actually came to Nation. Okay, we don't, but we feel happy when we see their offices. I think when you pass, and maybe that's what now you want. So these guys, they have adopted the modern way of doing business. Naona kama Amazon, they're a big company globally. They're doing business in every part of the country, but they have no single office. So long as umeandika, atatafutwa. That's number one. Ama unaweza kuandika kwa wili yako, ama kama una lawyer wako unamwambia, lakini inakuwa ni siri. So hao mawakili huwa wanakuja tu kusema saa zile mtu ameaga, na ndio wasema bwana, mzee wako aliacha kitu fulani na fulani kwa jina lako pale fulani na fulani. So hiyo inakuwa ni vizuri, manake ukilalia sana sasa kama hawa wazee, utapata pengine famili zao ni maskini na mapesa yamejaa tele kule kwenye zile asset recovery. Hata nyinyi hapa mmekaa hapa, hamjui pengine mna mabilioni huko zimekaa na mna struggle hapa kupanga mambo ya retirement. Unaona hiyo shida hiyo.
Suggestion wange introduce kama nomination form. Ile pesa uko nayo, unaweka na percentage fulani afuna kaeka pale,
yani details za customer details, na kwamba in case of anything these are my people, wao pia wanajua.
tulichukua hiyo 50k tukaweka hapo, tukamwekea hapo. Hizi sasa ni expenses. Then tukaamua pia, though tulifikiria sana fees, school fees tuwaambiwa ni next year, but tukaangalia pia hii ni pesa ya lump sum imekuja, tukasema wacha tu hii tutachukua hiyo ya mwaka mmoja tuiweke kando tumlipie, in case of any eventuality. Tunajua hii tulitenga, though tulijadiliana kwa kina. So tukaja hapa chini pia 27,000. Huyu bwana tumeambiwa he wants to be walking 2 km every day to keep fit. So tukasema wellness yake, kwenda kutembea kwake anaweza kuwa hiyo tu ya huyu bwana. After hii pesa imemachua hapa, this gentleman Abdallah will be able to make 655,000 kwa mwaka. Hako ni kafaida tu amegenerate katika hii pesa ya 3M. Tukaona hii pesa si mbaya. Huyu jamaa akitoka hapa, hii pesa kama anaweza chezea na hii faida yake hapa. That is after overall ameinvest hii pesa na akabaki na hii. Yes. So that is it.
You need to do as much as possible to invest and realize enough profit as you can. However, if you want to entertain yourself, you have to set some money aside reasonably and responsibly to entertain yourself. It doesn't buy you from progressing with your business.
15% per year investment tumemwekea 500,000 plus miscellaneous ya 227,000. Total inakuja 727. Treasury ya 2 years 25% investment tumemwekea 200,000. Ukija kwa avocab 28% tumemwekea 1 million after 6 months, kwa 6 months. Lakini tumeweka for 6 months ya annuality tumemwekea annuality ya 25%, not 25%. School fees tumemwekea 23,000 per year. Kwa medical cover tumemwekea 50,000. Ukija kwa physical fitness, hiyo ni yenye anaweza fanya, si lazima tumwekee pesa. So interest stroke income kwa mwaka mzima, money market itamletea 109. Ukija kwa treasury bond italeta 50,000. Ukija kwa avocab itamletea 280,000 and 50,000. So hii pesa ndio kwa mwaka atakuwa ametengeneza kama, yani imeingia kama faida. So akitaka kuja hapo sasa, hapo mahali pa entertainment, kuoa bibi beautiful what imeandikwa wapi? Macho yangu najua ione vizuri. Beautiful lady anaweza mwenyewe anaweza ingia hapa akachezea hapo, but hatuwezi mwekea kwa budget.
But you are guaranteed that this principal amount is still yours at any cost. But this one will just be passed on to your family. When it's gone, it's gone.
So it should be, when you're looking at this, should be what are my needs and what are my wants. You see? So once you determine your needs, those wants, you can put them aside for now. They are good to have, nice to have, but I'm sorry, we should not go that route right now. That is why I deliberately used the word wants here. Ni wangapi waliona hii wanti waka connect na meaning yangu? So At this level, if you guys are to be brutally honest with this man, naambia bwana, this is a want. Put it aside. It's tupatie headaches. We should not even be discussing about it for now. Yeah. So then, this is a want which should be converted into a need, a basic need. Walking. Okay. So you need to be a bit brutal in the decisions. Sasa unaanza kuwa, you need to start being harsh with yourself. Naona bado mnajibembeleza kidogo. Hamtaki kuwa wakali kwenyu wenyewe. Two, what are the needs and what are the wants? You don't want to waste your time right now on the wants. Focus on the needs first, because you are just starting. This is the honeymoon stage. The honeymoon stage, if you go with the honeymoon mentality, mambo yataharibika. So jaribu kuwa very tight. Maybe you can, project you can postpone, push it to year 2, maybe year 3. Yeah, Mauritius. Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. My name is Dorcas Awino. I'm a financial advisor, and recently the award-winning Aki for the whole country, by the grace of God, that God has really helped me to shine in the marketplace. And my desire is to make sure I change everybody's life. When I meet you today, I want to see you in the next 5 years different. So that's what makes me happy, to know that everyone that has worked or is working must have something in the pocket. So I've been told, actually I didn't prepare so much but this is what we do every day. Actually, I'm from Bandari. I had some session there. So when she called me, I was there. I was doing a presentation, something like this. But that is different because I'm the one covering them medical for the staff. I do money market for them. So this is something that I do every day. So I've been told that some of you are, I don't know, majority, you are ending to retirement and you have some cash that you need to trade so that your money that you've been working for. You see, now this is the time, and I wish even the young people were here. I like talking to young people so that they can see what elder people have done, and they didn't make a mistake of savings, because that is the preaching that we do every day. Young people, they like to spend for today, but the real life starts now. Honestly, life starts at this level when now you retire. This is the lifetime that now it will show what have you been doing. I always tell young people, and if you are here, you have young people, you rather maybe connect me with them so that I can tell them that 3,000 shillings that they are spending on other things, if they can keep it and they say, by the time I'm retiring at 60, this is what I want to do with this. But make sure that you are sure we will put you from individual, from corporate to individual. I can help you. I work with Share closely to help people to, if you do it by yourself, sometimes in a kuramba. I have so many customers that I find them in the marketplace, alafu unasikia Share analipishwa 20,000 a year, analipishwa 7,000. Right now, there's a way, if you contact me directly, because I work with them closely, I'll show you how you can pay less. Because the thing is, you don't translate with your normal phones. Because you see, your normal phones, they have M-Pesa, they have your records. So what we do, we register a new line, a new phone with the zero. There's a way they have kuna rada in your statements. So they will give you a rate as per your statement. So I'm trying to say that you must have at least, kama uwezi kuchukua in and out patient, you might find that it's a bit costly. The beauty part about me, I work with all the underwriters. I'm a licensed agent that I work with all underwriters that I can help you to get you insurance that is suit your need. Because you see, there's someone that wants private room. There's someone who doesn't matter. Me bora I'm admitted, bora I'm in Mombasa hospital, general ward, I'm fine. So people are different. So we can, but you can, yani unaweza kujipanga. Unaweza sema for this one, because of emergency fund, school fees for my daughter that is 2 years, 3 years is going to the university. Can I do it in MMF or can I do it in Faida Elite? There's a product with Jubilee Insurance. In investment, I will not lie. Jubilee has the best rate, even if it's annuity. Right now, annuity is at 13%. So you can imagine how much you have if you put, you're going to get very good rates. And now, instead of putting it in one place, you diverse it. You say that, for I know this child of mine, in the next 3 years, he'll be going to the university. Now, you start putting that money at a rate of 12 point, right now it has 12.58. There's a product called FIDA Elite. That one is also with Jubilee. You put it for 3 years, then you can remove the amount. Then there's also another product that you can use. It's called, of course, I think right now everybody must have a money market account. Money market account, it's an emergency fund. People always put it as an investment. Money market is not an investment. Money market is an emergency fund. FIDA Elite is an investment because when you put your money there, they're going to reinvest it and they're giving you high rate. You can see the rate is higher because you're not touching it in the next 3 years. But for money market, it fluctuates. Actually, right now, it's a bit better. It's at 11%. But they don't trust you because you can give them 10 million today, but after 1 week, you're going to remove it. You understand? So money market, you don't put it as your investment. You put it as your emergency fund. Then the rest you can spread it out. Investor B, say, for me, I want to go to Jubilee Life Insurance. Just short term, like 6 years or 5 years. Jubilee Insurance, as I invest 100,000, there's a sum assured to me. It's assured before I start investing. So long as I've already given them my interest, that my interest is 100,000. So they're going to give me sum assured of 6.3 million. So why are they giving me that? It's a protection. They're protecting me. That in case I find these Indians, I like be giving example because 85% of my customers are Indians, Asians. You will never find them in a circle, and I want you to do that research. You will never find them in any circle. Imarika circle are also my customers. You will never find Indian. Why? Indian, they like to protect their wealth so that the generation to come and find their wealth. But you see, as we rush to circles, and you see circle, it's your money, and yet you cannot, when you want it, you have to get they have to charge you interest. But now Mwindi anasema mimi sitaki mtu aniibie. So then they loan. It's like when you're giving insurance company your money, it's like you're loaning them. Then they give you with bonuses. So you are gaining on the bonuses and you're gaining on the sum assured that when something happens to you, your family is well protected. Yourself and in case of even demons, your family will be at peace. Whatever you are to get at the end of the 6 years, your family will be given. And remember, you have just given maybe 1 or 2 premiums. So security is very important for everybody. You don't just have to save and you don't have a protection cover. Then there's something else again I'd want to, it's very important, it's very minimum. Si pesa nyingi sana, it's very kidogo. Less than 3,000-4,000 shillings, you have a good personal accident of even up to 1 million. So as you work, anything can happen. So you need to be diverse so that you have been working. You see that by day after 5 years when somebody sees you, you don't look like somebody who had worked. So you be smart and you go ahead of yourself. I don't know if there's any other. So there are 5. There's 50,000 limit, 100,000 limit, 250, 150 up to 250. Then now the other one that is open fund, it goes up to 10 million now. It's a bit big. So that one is one-on-one. When we sit, I can show you. For the one that there's a one that you can just pay one-off. If you pay that 4,300, it will cover you for 5 years. Then for 100,000, you pay 16,000 for 5 years. So when you pay 16,000, you're covered for 5 years. So then the other one, the one that is open now, goes up to 10 million. That one, you have to do it annually. So it will depend on what are you looking at. Yeah. And the other one for Jubilee, I like it. Why? In case you get an accident, they pay you, depending on which category you may select, but the minimum they pay is 1,000 bob per day when you're admitted in the hospital. In case you pass, there's refreshment money they give, and then now the burial money. So each category has limit. So when you sit on one, I'll show you. For this one, refreshment, they'll pay up to this on and the burial. For the refreshment, they'll pay this. For the funeral, they'll pay this. So it depends. It's one-on-one. When you sit down, then I can take you through. 100,000 up to 10 million. Sasa ni wewe uniambie, ebu nipatie this kind of a quote. Na probably maybe you want with your family. Probably, if you want with the family. So tunaweza decide tufanye it's one on one. Niwe sasa tutaka chini to agree ni kufanyia hizo different, then wasema hii niko sawa na hii. Alafu kuna zile hospitali, there's some categories of hospitals.
Nimeuliza hizo variant
Limits.
Medical cover and limits.
Limits of the medical cover.
Yes.
Kuna ya 500,000 limit per year.
Hivi patient ama ni outpatient?
Inpatient. Alafu kuna 1 million, kuna 3 million, kuna 5 up to 10 million. So ni client mwenye ata choose. From 3 million, 5 million, those are private room. When you are admitted in Mombasa Hospital, Aga Khan, the beauty about this product, you can go to any hospital. But again, if you feel like it's a bit costly, we also have something called county. There's some covers that they limit you with the Mombasa Hospital, Aga Khan, Pandya. But you can go to Jocham, you can go to Equity Afya, you can go to Nairobi Women. So we have also a product like that. So if you keep it here, open panel. So of course, open panel is a bit costly. It's a bit costly because uzataka na kuna mpaka maternity. Of course, maybe I don't know if you need maternity, but was ziko automatically with maternity on them. That's why they make it a bit zinapanda juu kidogo. But if you feel it's a bit high, we can also do something. We give you something that tailor-made your costing. Because outpatient you can use SHA. In case something happens that you really need a medical attention, si tutaenda tu SHA, alafu kama na admission tutalazwa Mombasa Hospital ama tutalazwa any other place. Because you see now, you're retiring. If now you want to put yourself, it can be a bit costly. But the beauty again, we can pay installment. But you see, we don't want to put you in installment because there is no income that is coming. We want to work with the money that you have to help you to, you understand? So we don't want mambo ya installment here. We just want, this is what I have, I plan for my development. Then now, this is where money market comes in. This is now where money market comes in. So the money will be accumulating in a year. You can set it to be paying your medical cover. You don't need to get any income anywhere. The money that you'll be now getting from your MMF, your interest, this is what will be paying my medical cover. Because right now, the people that are not retired, they put money in the MMF in a lipa total school fees.
Do you have the figures for this Sapphire account? Maybe how much I can
Yes,
pay?
I have everything. It goes with the age. You see, these medical covers, they go with age. Yeah? So probably give me your family, I give you a quote. So I'll have the principal, spouse, and children. So the principal, your rate is different with your spouse, and it's also different with your children. So the younger, the cheaper for them. Yeah. Then if you take a 3 million cover, it's 76,889. Yeah. And if you take a 5 million cover, it's 82,030.
So that is inpatient.
That is in. We're still on in. Afjashika out, but
That one does not cover out.
it has. The reason why it's not combined, everybody has different needs. You might need outpatient in both, but he may just need inpatient. That's why they cannot combine it. So we give the inpatient rate, then we give you outpatient rate, then we total it.
Is there one that combines both in and out?
It's the quotation that will do it. So now I'm doing verbally, but there's a illustrator that when I have age of the client, I imputate it. It comes once. It's because now I'm using my mouth. But when now I have the age of the client and everything with me, I do an illustrator that will give you a total quotation for in and out patient. But for now, I give inpatient rates, then I'll give also outpatient rates. Because you see also for outpatient, they're different. If you take a cover of 1 million, there is no way insurance will give you outpatient of 100,000. Understand? That's why they cannot combine it. If you have a inpatient of 1 million, the best they can give you is 60,000 for outpatient. Now, when we want to take outpatient. If you take a limit of 3 million, they can give you 100,000. If you take 5 million and above, you're flexible. You can do 200,000, you can do 150. But so long as you're below there, you have to go, it's embedded. So you have to go as per the category. Yeah, so the best cover in that age, you just pay only 91,449. That's a 10 million cover. It's private room, bed limit there is around 26,000. So if you go to Nairobi Hospital, you go to Aga Khan, anywhere you go to the hospital that the bed limit up to 26,000 per night. Actually, I work with all these underwriters, but I can tell you, there is no insurance has come close to Resolution. It was the best insurance in Kenya. You find that if you are covered for 10 million and you have diabetes, they'll pay 5 million for that. Okay, they're saying that those are the things that made them go under. But there's so many. For me, I think there's more than that, because when it was going under, Peter, he explained to us what was happening. So people, of course, underwrite, the regulator, we can say anything, and other underwriters will say anything. But believe it or not, there is no insurance that was better than Resolution Insurance. But we always say that is a past, it's gone. But currently, even the service providers that are there, no one is even closer with the benefits. No one is closer. Like you can find that you have a 10 million cover, and I'm open as I said it. It pains me, I give you a 10 million cover, but in case of a chronic condition, the first time they're okay, they'll pay 3.5 million. But now when you're coming on renewal, it's sad, they'll pay for you 1 million. And it's across the industry. Because they're saying those loopholes that the one that made Resolution Insurance went under, because unapata mtu analipa kama, for example, that 91 I've given, and their premiums are not also bad. They're just good premiums. So you are covered for 10 million, a claim comes for 5, they'll pay. 5 million, they will pay. But current now, these insurance companies now, the regulator after Resolution went under, ikafungwa. They limited them so that the companies can make profit. It's like Resolution were not making profit, because client has paid 100,000, they'll pay 5 million. And so I see moja kama 100. You see, so those are the things that regulator akazieka that they cannot do open like what Resolution used to do. So unapata kuna cover 10 million kweli, on the second year for that condition, they'll only pay 1 million shillings. Unless something is not a condition, they'll pay 10 million. They'll be generous. They'll pay. But so long as it's that thing that it was diagnosed with you, they'll only pay 1 million.
And Aga Khan, Mombasa Hospital. Because I know SHA is doing well, but only at Coast General.
And Mashinani. They're doing very well in Mashinani. You see, for SHA, unless you are a civil servant, actually, other say civil servant or our 30 PA, they'll sell less NHIF rebate. So kama ulikuwa una utalipa kwa mfuko. It's a government, like SHA pays for the bed. Hii bed ni a government. Like government lazima ilipiwe. So when you go to any hospital, hiyo kitanda ni a government. Hata kama uko Nairobi Hospital, uko Mombasa Hospital, uko Pandia, hiyo kitanda ni a government, baka ulipie. So kama uko una SHA, sasa insurance itasema sisi tumekulipia daktari, tumekulipia chakula, room, hii kitanda hii lipa. Yes, there's no good. There's a client of mine that is being deducted 25,000 Nasha. Is the CEO of Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Tobias. He's deducted 25,000 per month. So that's what I was saying. Una register kama unataka kuregister saa as individual. Usiregister SHA na namba yako ya kawaida. Just go buy a new line, register, then call me, I will show you how. Kukulipia. Atuende tu wewe hivi na SHA? Hakuna. Akuna, I'm telling you for free. No way. That in case of anything, you can go to Mombasa Hospital, you can go to Nairobi Hospital, you can go to a good hospital honorably, because you have worked for so many years. You cannot start to go to Coast General. I refuse that for you in Jesus' name.
Well, especially on this SHA thing.
Yes. Nitawapatia kadi yangu.
At least usaidiwe na kitu kwa family.
Yes. SHA ina cover family.
I think, gentlemen, that is the right move. As we plan to take another cover, medical cover, let us
streamline the SHA.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, let's streamline the SHA.
Upside as a foundation, because we are leaving employment tomorrow. Now, let me ask, if I happen to register earlier on with SHA.
Yes, as individual?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll register na family.
Na family.
Yes, na niseme sasa wewe, na tafuta namba nyingine ambayo usiporegister nayo.
Kama tayari uko kwa system, unless sasa to register madam. Kama madam hakukua, now she's the best, we can do. No, so you guys are living. Sasa hiyo that's different because ile kwa ni employment. But now unakuja kama huwa tunaita voluntary.
Your participation, your commitment. Kwa sababu even if we had Mr. Swale and the rest of the people who came to speak to us and you are not interested, then it would have been a different meeting altogether. But you participated, you listened, you asked questions, you are involved in the entire discussion. So we appreciate you and we thank you on behalf of management. Thank you very much. It was not a wasted time. It was also not get knowledge, get information. So they are not throwing you out. They are very, the management is very, still on pay. You have not attended your shifts. People have had to, the line managers have had to sort out themselves, and the business has paid for you to be here for 3 days, not just 2 hours. Otherwise, they would have done a session of 3 days, full days, with the very best of the consultants in this kind of forum. So we really want to appreciate your commitment. We also want to appreciate it that you took it positively and have participated. Thank you very much for the positive comments that you have given. I have already informed the management team that about your proposals, where you are talking about these sessions should be done even for people who are not exiting, for them to get ready, prepare, and be well advised way in advance. And let's appreciate ourselves for that. The other question I was asked was regarding the medical cover. Today you are asking about it. It has been confirmed that the cover will continue. Even if you exit, the cover will continue. You can utilize the cover until it lapses. So that's a good one. You're welcome. Then the other question I was asked was regarding the long service awards. Those people who are hitting their milestones this year. Some were telling me they have already received their monthly kifurushi. Yes. And they're asking, what about the end of the year, since we won't be here? So from the discussion we've had, I think your end of the year award will be there. So your voucher and your certificate will be organized for you. Sawa, I know kuna wale wamekuwa wakingoja hiyo. So you're worried. Don't worry. We have I have gotten some good feedback. If you have any other questions, please feel free to raise them to let me know. Atakama not today, you can think about it even before your final days or before you exit. Let us know and we will respond accordingly. Okay? The other thing I would love for you to do, the company has been nice to you, especially in getting you ready to leave. The best thing you can do for the business right now is what you have been doing, document, for the person who will come to do your job to know where to start from. Are you understanding? Something like a handover. Some of you have been doing that job for the last 30 years, the last 20 years. It would be very good for you to document what you have been doing. You can write it down and then bring it to me. We have production people here, yeah? And then we have Yvonne's team here. Yvonne's team, mechanical and electrical. Please, would you please do that for us? We will get letters advising when you're leaving, okay? So that is the schedule that has been approved by the group. And also there is now a plan that HR has put in place to make sure that we don't have gaps, okay? Which we are already working on it. So replacements, we are already working on recruitment and all those things. We are already working on it. So your date ikifika, whether HR has done what they are supposed to do or not, your day has come. And the letters will be given. Does it answer? Does it answer, Mr. Akach? Yeah. So your plan is already out and approved. So HR, we are trying to work with the plans that we have. So whether we fail or succeed, it will not mess you up. Okay? Yeah. So now I want you to commit. The best thing you can do is document what you've been doing. It will help us very much in also getting to update some of the job descriptions that we are coming up with. And some of the improvements that you have made, it is good for you to highlight that this area has been having these issues. You recommend improvements. Is it okay? You've committed. So would you please give me those documents by when? When can you give me? Okay, 2 weeks. I will greatly appreciate. You can send via email, you can write on paper, whichever way you do it, just prepare. Something like your work schedule, what you have been doing, and areas of improvement that you recommend. Are we there? It will help us so much, so much, so much. It will be like a handover document that we can use to support the people who will be stepping in to take over the roles that you've been doing. Nani siwatafute?
My name is Kennedy Mulwa. I joined MRM in 2005, and when this program came, I applied for it. I want to first thank the MRM management for organizing this program for us, and also thank Mr. Swale for the good education he's given us about retirement, and the good options he's given us. He's given us a lot of confidence. He's removed the fear of unknown, and I've learned so much. I think it will help me in my future endeavors. Thanks, Nancy, for being with us, and thanks to Ale for everything. I think my friends have said most of the things. Thank you.
My name is, as I said, I'm Rustin Mukala Morongo, and I have worked for MRM for now 19 years. But now to add on, there is 5 years which I worked as a casual. So far so good is 24 years. 24 years working in MRM. Then on top of that, I need also to appreciate our management and the people and the employees at large, for they had considered me earlier on. I started working as on union side, and they elected me as the chief shop steward. And for real, up to date, I can call myself as having served the longest as the chief shop steward of MRM. Then on top of it, also the staffs elected me on another role, which I'm still there currently, as the board of director, Mabati Sacco. I'm serving there currently in that position. At the same time, now as I'm exiting MRM, my role is mechanical engineering supervisor. That is MCL. We have MCL and CRM. So really, with my deep heart, I want to say big appreciation goes to our MRM management for having organized this training, which has equipped me with a lot of knowledge. And also, not forgetting my colleague, fellow staffs who are here, exiting MRM, I also applaud you for the courage you have, the way we have solidly got the messages, the information from our trainer. Then also, okay, finally, I'd say also strongest appreciation to Mr. Swale, who is our trainer, for organizing, equipping ourselves quite well. And he has a very strong knowledge. So as I said earlier, I'll be brief. Kudos to Mr. Swale. And guys, I just urge you to utilize the knowledge quite well. Utilize the money that you receive at the end of, as you walk out of MRM, for your prosperous years ahead. Thank you so much.
My name is Anthony Ashono Taifa. I work in MRM, Supply Chain Department. I joined MRM in 2006, and up to now, I worked for continuously 15 years. I worked in the position of HRC clerk. My main job was to receive raw material. When this program, VES, came, I was one of the members who applied. And fortunately, the company honored my application. And I was very happy to be admitted in the program. And I also thank the company for having taken that decision to include me in the program. Thereafter, the company has also organized a training. If I may quote the Bible, I'm not an expert in the Bible, but the Bible says, "My people will perish for lack of knowledge." We came to seek knowledge, and finally, we have got it. I have benefited from this program in terms of financial literacy, making wise decisions, and making sound investments. And as I walk out of this training, I'm fully well equipped in terms of resources, knowledge, skills, and I'm readily available to make sound decisions in terms of investment. I once more try to congratulate my colleagues who have joined us in this meeting. We have learned as a team, we have supported one another, and we are moving out like heroes. Take this opportunity once more to congratulate Mr. Swale, who has facilitated the training, and in fact, we have learned a lot from him. What I can say particularly, Mr. Swale, apart from being a professional teacher, he is also a talented teacher. Teaching somebody who is nearing 60 years without the learner being bored, getting bored, sitting in the room throughout up to 8 hours and a day, it is not very easy. I have observed the skill and the technical know-how. He approaches the topic in a very cool, quiet environment such that you are encouraged to proceed. That is a skill that not all teachers do have. And I wish also to say that now that we are living, we should not be afraid of the outside world. The information we have got here, it has equipped us fully to the extent that we are going out as conquerors. We are going to conquer, establish, determine resources which other people cannot see, because now we have executive eyes that can identify resources which is lying fallow and exploit that resource for our own benefit, for the benefit of the society and humankind. With those few remarks, I will conclude by saying we need also to appreciate the hotel management for providing a very conducive and sound atmosphere so that our learning process was very efficient and smooth. Thank you very much and welcome.
Mimi kwa majina ninaitwa Michael Ndegwa. I've been with this company for the last 30 years. Now, I work in the internal audit, but I did not start in internal audit. I started in finance. Na pia nimegusagusa sehemu za sales and the marketing. At one time, for 4 years, I was in Kisumu, though working in the finance department, but all my work was in sales and marketing, helping the people, especially in the customer service. So I came back to Mariakani, and then I joined the internal audit department. So from 2008, I've been in the internal audit department. And our work revolves around, because we don't look at one area, each and every place. There is no place which I've not gone through. Each and every place most of the people in various departments know me very well. First, I would like to thank the management through NSC that this one came as we're not expecting all of us, but it so happened that one day something like this will happen, and I thank God. I tried to talk to my even seniors, and they agreed. They said, okay, it's okay. We appreciate the work you've done also for us. You can continue. And when I lodged my application, it was agreed. So to me, I was at one time a bit very uncertain, but I gained the momentum. And in fact, when I came to this training, it has really opened my eyes, my ears, my mind. And through Mr. Swaleh, thank you for the knowledge. We are told knowledge is power, and I will really rely on that so that when I go outside there, I apply it accordingly. And just to encourage my fellow friends, there is nothing new. If you are starting it, somebody outside there started it and is working very well. I remember of one employee, one time, I'll not mention the name, but that was a long time back. He left this company, he retired. Then at one time he said, I wish I had known earlier, because he ventured into businesses which were really gaining. So it is just a beginning of new life, and sometimes if you misuse the opportunity, things might not go well. But if you use the opportunity well, like how we have been taken through the sessions in this place, then I think no one of us will regret. So I want to pray for every one of us as we go outside there. Let us apply the knowledge appropriately. Appropriately, I mean appropriately, I think you understand. So thank you very much. Fellow friends who have been here also, I think we'll not forget one another, but always we remember one another. There's a WhatsApp group which will be formed. Let it not stop there. Let us each and every time communicate and share ideas. All the best. Thank you.